Guys, it's the Screen Team. We are beginning our second half hour of the show. We've got a lot of good classics for you. Here in a few minutes, we're going to be reviewing the Steve McQueen film Bullet. Also, a little bit later on, the Clint Eastwood classic Unforgiven. But we've got a classic for you to start off the second half of the show for you. It's called Shane. If you like Western films, if you like all-time great films, this might be the flick for you. And we've got Hardin on the show. Hardin, let me guess. You love Shane.
I love Shane. I don't just like it. I love Shane.
You love Shane. We meet Shane. He's kind of he's a stranger, and he comes upon this family. I don't want to say farm, but it is a farm, isn't it?
It's kind of, yeah, it really is a farm. It's not a ranch. It's trying to, yeah. The ranchers don't like the fact that they're trying to farm there and put up fences and all that. The
sod busters.
Right.
So Shane gets introduced to our family, and they don't know too much about Shane. He looks kind of, is he seedy? Is he a good guy? I don't know, but here, you can have a drink of water, but, be on your way when you get done with that glass of water.
They don't know who he is. Is he with the ranchers that are trying to run him off, or is he just a stranger going by? Is he friend, foe? They have no idea.
Yeah.
Nobody would.
Yeah, that's true. But we find out after we meet, what is it, Riker's gang?
Riker, right.
Yeah, Riker's gang comes, and Riker wants the land. He wants all the land. Mm-hmm. And if he doesn't get the land, he's going to have to, push his gang upon, the local folk and see what he can take, right?
Right.
But Shane steps in, and he's like, "You're not doing that today, son."
No, and that's a good question. Why did Shane do that? But that can be debated. But yes, he steps in and says, "No way, that's not going to happen," and I'm the one that can stop it.
All right, let me ask you. I'm going to put the question on you. Why do you think he did it?
Well, part of this I got from reading Roger Ebert's analysis. Mm-hmm. And you start thinking, on the surface, it's pretty common. Shane is the stranger that comes in. Pale Rider was kind of a version of Shane. And I didn't realize that the film Logan drew heavily from Shane.
Yep.
So is Shane basically a guy that he's somehow found himself as a killer? He's good at it, but he hates it and he wants to get away from it. And this is another way he's trying to blend in with a normal family and have a normal life that catches up to him. Or really, is he a killer and maybe he doesn't hate it as bad? He kind of would like to change, but he's going to give it a try. He's not sure how it's going to work. We don't know. And that's the thing about Ebert was saying that if it was just the surface story, which is good, and the cinematography is really good, it might kind of become dated. Mm-hmm. But when you start looking at all the subplots that coexist, there's even the thought that Shane, is he really possibly a sociopath? I mean, you've got this guy that's
My goodness, how deep are you guys going in this film?
Well,
wow.
I thought Shane has become a cliche, Mm-hmm. Shane, come back.
Oh, I hate that scene. I will get into that here in a second.
Yeah.
But you're right. That's a famous scene.
Right. So I'm trying to avoid just going back over some of the basics of it and get into the stuff that you can watch it and debate. And the idea that the sociopath, that's stretching it. But here's this guy, he's short. He's unassuming. He comes in buckskins. I mean, that look a little bit sweet,
You're right.
And then when he gets new clothes, he gets blue jeans and an open. He doesn't look anything like he's rugged of any sort.
He doesn't look like your Clint Eastwood, John Wayne type of cowboy.
So is he really? That's his game. He's going to come in and he's going to get everybody as much as he can, thinking that they don't have to worry about him, and he's going to see who he can finally become suitable for him to kill, because he's going to repeat it.
Yeah.
He's not really a bad guy. He's not going, but he doesn't really care about the farmers. He'll treat them okay, but he's just kind of wait to see. Then you have the bad gunfighter come in, and he thinks, okay, that might be. Stop and think about it. I can kill him. They'll like me for it. Mm-hmm. Maybe I can stay around, but I'll be probably tired. I want to move on and do this somewhere else. Okay, that sounds far-fetched, but why does this guy come in and he tries to make himself, is he really trying to get rid of his gunfighter persona? Or, here again, we don't know. And Ebert did bring up the point that, of course, Alan Ladd plays Shane, but Shane in the movie is almost, and I hadn't thought about playing roles. You don't really ever know who he is, because he kind of basically has stolen the farmer's wife away from him. All he has to do is snap his fingers, and she would go with him.
It's true.
You know, so
It's true.
yeah.
It's true. So I guess, is that why so many people think this movie is so great, because of those underlying tones to the film? Because to me, when I've only watched this film once, and it was for this review. So I'm new to it. I'm green to it. I understand it. Maybe I don't understand a lot of the, inside details about this film. But when I saw it, it looked like your normal kind of Western film. You've got this stranger who comes in. He helps out the town or the farmers, and he goes off and rides in the sunset like a lot of other Westerns. So is that why you think this movie's so great, because of those underlying details?
Probably so. When I first saw it the first time or two, I thought it was nice, a little bit quaint. It's kind of old-fashioned looking with the whole thing. And like a lot of movies, subsequent viewing, you can pick things out.
Yeah.
Of course, who was it? John Lennon said that people attribute whatever our songs mean is what people, meaning they attach to them.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what George Stevens or the writer of the story intended, but so much of it is what we want to draw out of it or attach to it. But yeah, I think it's often you see High Noon ranked right with Shane or ahead. And High Noon's, I don't know how many people have seen High Noon. It's a good movie. It's a good story, but it happens in one day. It's sort of just there and it happens. Where Shane, that's what would make Shane live on, I think, also, is if you go beyond the initial, okay, standard thing. Guy comes in, doesn't want to fight, but he ends up fighting and being the hero.
Yeah.
And start thinking of all the subplots that are going on. So, yeah, that's what really elevates it to me beyond some other movies of the genre.
So let me ask you, let's talk about another subplot. The young boy in this film, he has a liking of Shane. He grows attached to him. He's kind of a hero to the young boy in a sense, and a kind of a mentor. Are you a fan of the young kid character in this film? Because I wasn't.
I think he did it as Brandon DeWilde, who actually played with HUD.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. He did get nominated for an Academy Award for this film. So just because I don't like it doesn't mean it ain't good, you know?
I think he did okay. I don't know that he did as good as some child actors would have done, but the one thing that kind of moderates that a little, I read that when they were filming it, the real actor, every time Shane would or Alan Ladd would start explaining why he had to leave, he would cross his eyes and stick out his tongue. So, okay, this is a normal kid. This is not just the sweet,
It's not just the character that we're seeing. He's a real kid,
Yeah.
This movie is great for a lot of reasons, like Hardin has said. But it's great because it stars Alan Ladd. And you know why Alan Ladd is so great, Hardin?
Why? What do you think?
Because he had a son. You know what his son's name was?
Christopher.
No. Alan Ladd Jr. And you know what Alan Ladd Jr. did?
No, I do not.
He gave the go-ahead for Star Wars.
Well, hey.
Exactly.
So... any Alan Ladd film, you gotta give him a chance.
That's right. We got to give Alan Ladd a chance because, gosh darn it, he had a son. His son greenlit Star Wars, so we got to give props to the whole Ladd family for that.
That's right.
I think I'm going to give this another go around sometime down the future. But what about you? Are you going to watch it again?
Yeah, I'll watch it periodically. I've seen it so many times now that I kind of know it so well. But sure, it's one I would give a turn to. Every so often, yeah.
All right. Do you want to close out the review with the closing quote of the movie?
Shane, come back. Mama wants you. I know she does.
Exactly. That line right there, you're like, what?
It's
what?
A little strange.
It's a little strange, but it's a powerful movie, and it's been in school classes and cinema history for a long time. It's called Shane, and you can find it wherever you find movies. Hardin, thank you so much, sir.
Thanks.
We've got another review coming your way next, right here on the Screen Team.